Spotlight Show with today's guest, Grady, for a very special holiday show brought to you by Kirk's Studio for the Performing Arts. Kirk's is the Valley's premier music studio. Call us or go to kirkstudio.com. Also, by the Arizona Orthodontic Studio. Arizona Orthodontic is a modern, friendly, and comfortable office located next door to Kirk's Studio for the Performing Arts on the corner of Frank Lloyd Wright and Via Linda. Let me tell you about them. They have free consultations. You will receive a comprehensive, in-depth exam with photos and x-rays. Dr. Hoffman will provide a customized treatment plan for you at no charge. The office accepts most insurance plans with 0% financing with flexible payment plans available. Not sure if your child needs braces? And join them for free observation programs. Dr. Hoffman will examine your child's mouth every 6 months and make recommendations along with the future possibilities of treatment. Their goal is to stay ahead of any developing dental problems and to watch growth to minimize more extensive and lengthy treatment at a later age. Call and make your appointment today at 480-451-3088, the Arizona Orthodontic Studio in beautiful Scottsdale. AZRadio.live kick off the holiday season with our very special Christmas show featuring the music of Grady, whom will share with us unique stories about himself and his music. Grady is an accomplished composer pianist whose passion is bringing ideas to life and helping others achieve their dreams. Grady Saunier, founder of the Grady Music record label, has delighted fans worldwide with his unique style of piano keyboard music. Grady Music is based in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, and is our very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Grady with his beautiful music. Grady.
Well, thanks, Jimmy, for having me on your show. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's always an adventure. I mean, all this technological stuff. Holy cow, this is amazing.
I know. And it's funny to see me like live on Facebook and all sorts of things.
Yep, we've got YouTube Live right behind us, right behind over there, and
Awesome.
Facebook Live over there, and the Internet Live. So that's kind of neat. Now, we've got a show that you're going to pretty much take charge of because this is a very special Christmas show.
Yeah. I think Christmas is a really unique time of the year, and especially a lot of people don't realize that for some people, Christmas can be extremely stressful. You know, it might be their first Christmas without a family member, or in addition, maybe they have a new family member. So I think that Christmas is a time for everybody to try to be joyous and, that sort of thing. I released my Angels on Holiday CD December 6th, way back in the day, back in 1996.
Oh my gosh, 96, that was 30 years ago?
Oh, who knows?
20 years ago.
Yeah, we'll say that. We'll say that. But it's always been a crowd favorite, and I enjoy performing the songs each year. And one of them, which I'll play right now, I actually wrote this song and these, actually, I should say, I wrote these songs during the summer on my parents' porch at their home here in Phoenix.
Now, did you have a piano on that porch?
No, it was through the keyboard.
Oh yeah, it's keyboard piano. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was really, really hot, and so one of the first songs I thought of was, maybe I could write my version of Silver Bells.
Okay.
So here it is.
And that's on your M1 keyboard. Oops. Sorry.
As a matter of fact, the keyboard that I'm playing on today is my very original keyboard that my parents went out and got me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. When they found out, I was actually the piano player for Bullocks back in the day, which, for those of you who do not know, it was like a Nordstrom, and I was their piano player. And we were merging, the company was merging with Macy's, and the president of Macy's came through while I was just literally on my break playing the piano. And he says, what you playing? And I said, oh, my own compositions. He's like, oh, I really like them. And you have to realize I had no clue who this guy was. It's not like he had a big sign on him that said, hi, I'm the president of Macy's.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, he told the store manager that I needed to be paid to play the piano full time.
Now, were you doing that gig for free?
Oh, I was actually selling shirts and ties.
Wow, and you sat down at the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, what a great way to begin.
So that kind of began my career, and my family was so excited. They went out and bought me a professional grade keyboard, as you well know. Some of you may not, but the M1 at that time was kind of expensive.
Yeah, it's heavy too.
It's really
It's
heavy.
well made. And that's the original keyboard you
I
used?
wrote on. Yep.
Wow, and you recorded all your albums with it.
I did.
Wow.
I did.
That's amazing. That's vintage.
Yeah.
Do you have extras at home in case that one goes down?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, I have a couple other keyboards, but they're nothing like this. They,
Yeah.
you know,
Wow.
so.
Take care of that M1 Korg.
I
Take
know,
care of it. Treat
it's
it
got
like,
it's got some some tape holding it together
Yeah,
here and
sure.
there, but
well,
so
yeah.
anyway, so I know a lot of people. I have a concert coming up November 10th, and it's called "The Stories Behind the Songs," and it's my encore performance. Since I had many people who requested that I come back and share more stories. I've always been a private person about that, but due to certain events, I guess in the world today, I feel that the stories need to be shared. Ones of healing and of caring, and so in any case, that's pretty much what my concert will be on November 10th at 6:30 at Stillwell Pianos.
What is admission for that?
It's actually
tickets.
yes. It's actually a donation of $10, and $10 is to go support the Angel Store, which has always been a integral, what do you say, a huge part of my life.
Right. Ever since, oh gosh, when did you purchase that original Angel Store on Scottsdale Town?
So we were offered to purchase the store 4.5 years ago.
Wow.
And so we're carrying on the tradition of that. And we went through a couple moves this year to keep the store alive. And so anyway, I'm out performing once again, for those of you who haven't heard me perform in a very long time, to help keep our Angel Store alive.
Okay, that's the cause, guys. So listen to this beautiful music, and you got to see this show on November 10th. And what song's next?
Well, this will be the song that I wrote for the lady who founded the Angel Store. This is called Angel Whispers.
beautiful music.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Thank you.
our station plays that song a lot
Oh, wow.
because
Wow.
every time I turn around, we're listening to that song on our station.
That's a very special song, and that was a very special album. It actually put me on the map. It got me signed on with a label back in '96, and it just kind of went from there.
Very good. Well, this is the Independent Artist Spotlight Show, so we have to mention a few things, like new music. We actually brought in some new music today. Charlevoix, Michigan artist Kurt Puffhaff, who goes by the name Puff, just added to our song list 19 songs off of his just unreleased album, Listen to Win. I had to say that. Listen to Win. We always hear that. And then we just added April Ann's latest album entitled All That I Have Left, and that can be taken literally sometimes. This is pretty much all we got left. And do you want us to broadcast the Paparazzi Girls? Let us know somehow. Just let me know. By golly, I got their whole CD. And if you tell us to play their album, we will. And if you tell us not to play their album, I'll play at least one song off the Paparazzi Girls because I think they have a great cause and they're doing good things. So let us know. By golly, let me know somehow. If you want to hear the Paparazzi Girls, by gosh, they've got, I think, 5 songs on their EP, their rap EP, and it's interesting music. So let me know. And as soon as you let me know, I'll add that to our song list. If not, I'll just add one. Enough said. Gosh, I hate to ruin the moment like that. So you have to take it back, Grady.
Well, why don't we'll step it up a notch for people.
Okay.
This next song is off my Christmas album, and it's another crowd favorite. And it's fun to play. But when I wrote this song, just to let you into my crazy musical mind, I pictured this is, Go Tell It on the Mountain. And so what I pictured was Thomas the Train. I don't have no idea why.
Is that the
Or
I think I can?
yeah,
Okay.
I think I can. I think I can. And so kind of Go Tell It on the Mountain reminds me of this choo-choo train where it's like, I think I can. I think I can. So it's crazy as that is. But it is a crowd favorite. So let's see if I can remember it. It's so early for me to start playing Christmas music.
Hey, we were playing Christmas music in July. We had
Christmas
our leg
in
up
July.
on the competition. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Future guests on the Spotlight Show is Thursday, November 1st. We have a double bill with Arizona Blues Hall of Famer Chuck Hall, who will be on our show at 1 p.m., along with songstress Mary Palma at, is it Palmer or Palma? I forget now. I think it's Palmer. Mary Palmer at 5 p.m., all on the same day. And November 8th at 5 is the return of Patrick Martin and sidekick Joey. Patrick Martin was one of our first guests that we incorporated the students on the show. And then, folks, on Thursday, November 15th at 1 p.m., we have a triple bill with Killers, Billy Chaffee, Eric Ramsey, and Louis Ray Camarada, all in the same room on the same show. That's November 15th at 1 p.m. And to wrap up November, Thursday, the 29th at 5 p.m., we have a band in the studio, the Clint Stevens Band.
Ooh.
We had to buy more cords and equipment for those guys. So that's November 29th at 5 p.m. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'll be drinking water all day that day. Lots of water. Well, Grady, I just have to say, the mood you create with your music, would you say it's new age or ambient, the way you play?
Wow, over the years, it's so interesting because these days, a lot of people can relate to it being spa music.
Yeah, that's what they hear when they walk into a spa.
Right.
Spa music.
Yeah.
Now, is that a genre in that sense, or is that what they label it nowadays?
They still label it new age, I guess, on the charts, but and then there's of course some ambient, but quite frankly, to the general public,
they know it as spa music.
Right. They know spa,
Now,
so.
but the cool thing is, this isn't really the music you'll hear walking in the mall,
Mm-mm.
I mean, that's music. I mean, mall music is still, you remember Muzak?
Oh yeah.
Gosh, and it's still kind of like Muzak with words.
Yeah.
But, spa, I hate calling it spa music, but I call it ambient new age. That sounds cooler. And, speaking of new age, Sherry Finzer, weren't you going to work with her on her album, on her label a little bit?
I am in the future. Yes, we're in
Very cool.
negotiations for that.
Well, I don't want to let the information out, but by gosh, we'll look for that, definitely. Because Sherry Finzer was on a show, and it was a wonderful show with Bill Clipman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was quite a show. Now, go ahead and tell us another one of your wonderful stories.
Well, so years ago, I've played for people, for example, like Doreen Virtue and James Von Prague, all these people that kind of like angel authors, if you will. And so, in any case, what I learned from them is in the beginning of their show, I would perform and I'd pick out the music to go with what they were saying. And so when I started creating the album Beautiful, I was looking for beautiful things. I was looking for, anything beautiful that people might be thinking. And it wasn't until I ran into a lady who told me that she felt that what the most beautiful thing in the world would be how a butterfly would think the moment it opened up out of its cocoon and saw the world for the first time.
is just so beautiful. Thank you for bringing this music into this crazy world. Good gosh.
So that was called Butterfly Thoughts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, looking at our time, we've got about 14 minutes. Does that give us time to do the fun part of the show, or would you like to do another song and then we'll do the fun part of the show and then?
Oh, I can do a quick fun song. I should probably play the title track to my Angels on Holiday
Very
CD.
cool. That would be great. Yeah, I'm more into music right now. That would be awesome.
Sure. So, so I always invite people, especially children. I play this song actually throughout the entire year because it gets such a great reaction to the audience because they aren't expecting it, and they think, "Really, was that what I was? Is that what I heard?" So, let's just see what you hear in this "Angels on Holiday."
Grady Saunier on azradio.live, the Independent Artist Spotlight Show. Now, what's the name of that song again?
That was called Angels on Holiday.
Angels
It's
on Holiday.
yeah, it's actually it's tucked in my Angel Whisper album.
Very good.
But however, because so many people liked it and wanted me to do a holiday album after hearing that, um, then of course Angels on Holiday became its own album.
Wow, that is so neat. And they can purchase this holiday album just in time for the holidays.
That's correct. You can actually purchase it at the Angel Store at the Mesa Marketplace.
A great excuse to go to the Angel Store if you weren't already going there to purchase all your holiday gifts.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And of course, you can go to CD Baby to purchase it as well. And yeah, because that album, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Of course, you can come to my concert November
Right.
10th.
And yeah, November 10th.
Yep, at Stillwell Pianos at 6:30 p.m., where I will be playing quite a bit of Christmas, but also once again telling the stories behind the songs.
That's what makes it very interesting. And
Yeah.
the whole, talking about the music and how it's created and the reason for creating the music. Yeah, that's the difference between hearing it on the radio and actually seeing a live performance. So thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, okay, here it is.
Yes.
This is the part of the show.
Okay.
Um, this is the part where we actually enjoy the show. I always preamble it that way. No, and then they always say, "Well, were you enjoying it
What
so
were
far?"
you always
No,
gonna
it's
say?
too difficult to work.
What?
But this is where we ask random, baseless questions meant to inspire tomorrow's generation.
Oh my.
So now I'm trying to give it more meaning. You know, where
Okay.
there's meaning behind all this, these baseless questions.
Okay.
Okay. So Grady,
Yes.
have you voted yet?
You know, I have not
Oh, what?
because we've moved. We've moved very many different times, but I encourage everybody to do it. We're still going to run in and get that done. So,
So you're planning on voting?
oh yeah.
Good. We won't really get in. I'm bipartisan
Mhm.
by trade,
Mhm.
but our show is bipartisan. We talk about one side, then talk about the other, and if somebody represents the Green Party, we'll talk about them too. But that's what we do, so that's cool. And next question:
Yes.
what are your thoughts about Arizona snowbirds?
I believe that Arizona snowbirds are a huge impact for our economy. And to be very honest with you, my grandparents and grandpa and grandma were snowbirds and lived in Mesa part time. And um, I think that they are great. To be very honest with you, a lot of them are Canadian,
Very cool.
and so I think we need to reach out to more of that demographic because hey, they're the ones who have the money and are wanting to have fun down here,
Yeah.
even though they're over the age of 55.
Oh,
Oh,
now you're
whoops,
aging me.
whoops.
Now you're aging me. Gosh darn it.
Wait a minute, I might be aging myself.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. That's very neat. And here's a neat one.
Okay.
What has been the most unique experience to ever happen to you so far in your lifetime?
Oh, I can tell you this. I had a friend of mine who passed away before I released my Angel Whisper album. And before he did, he was a big fan of my music. And so he would always come with friends and he'd find these pennies and he'd find them everywhere. And so what he would do is he would put them in my tip jar. So after a course of 2 years, if you will, my tip jar kept filling up at the bottom with all these pennies because he would find them in the craziest spots. And of course, you know, we all find a penny here and there, but we're talking in most unusual places. Well, anyway, when he passed away, I actually performed for his, I call it Celebration of Life, which my dad, who's a retired minister, presided over. And I had this keyboard, the same one that I'm playing on today. Um, Underneath it, when everybody was gone and I was closing up, I put the keyboard in the thing, and underneath the stand, there was a penny.
Oh my goodness.
And not only that, but every single day that I mean, literally every single day for almost what, at least a month and a half, I found a penny. And then they gradually faded. But it
Wow.
was the most incredible experience I have ever had. And I knew that it was him. And regardless of what anybody may or may not say, you know, I feel somehow he was trying to communicate to me that things would be okay.
Yeah, that's
So that's the most unique. And the weirdest thing about that is these pennies. I mean, I would find them in the craziest spots. And then when we purchased the store, we, interesting enough, um, we had inventoried everything, and so it was Thanksgiving Day, and we were to open the following day. This is 4 years ago, and so the whole store, everything was pushed to one end of the store, and I was sweeping, and tucked away around this corner was this, and it was a corner that we probably have seen a bazillion times. But for some odd reason, tucked around this corner was an angel. And I looked at the angel and I thought, oh, wow, that's crazy. How did we miss that angel? And so when I went to go pick it up, the angel was holding a penny.
Amazing.
And that is the most incredible thing that has happened to me.
We just got to say there's a higher being in that supernatural. Wow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
And that penny watches over our store, or the angel holding the penny watches over our store as we speak.
Wow. Okay, how do you follow up with that with a song? I mean, what song
Oh.
have you chosen for us today on the last song of the show? But gosh, that's beautiful, Grady. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, this one is this one here. I'll close with speaking of what I just spoke about. My Closer to Heart album is the latest in my series, even though I've released it a long time ago. But it's a album about healing. And during this time of year, like I said in the beginning of the show, there is a lot of healing that needs to be addressed, and or may not be, but I always feel it does. So when I wrote this song, it's the first song on Closer to Heart. It's called A Blanket of Love, because I believe that we all need some sort of blanket of love to continue and to keep going forward. So I'd like to perhaps, have this be my closing song, if you will.
Yeah, I just got to ask, is this off of your first album, the one with the rose on the keyboard?
Oh, no.
Okay.
This one is off of, you might have known the album. For those of you who've known me since 96 and 7, I released an album called Nap Time.
Okay.
And Nap Time, I was with a label, and the label and I had a falling out, and so they kept the rights to the album, and it was my album that was a healing album. So after I got my rights back years later, it was so emotional for me that I could never re-release it until finally artist friends of mine convinced me that people need to hear this album. So they suggested, why not name it Closer to Heart?
Very good.
And so this leads the album off with A Blanket of Love.
Thank you, Grady, for being our guest on our Independent Artist Spotlight show. November 10th, see his show. Go to the Angel Store, buy some angels. And azradio.live is brought to you by Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts. If you want the pros to teach you or your family, then think kirkstudio.com. Okay, Grady, we're out of here. Are you familiar with the way we ended our show?
I'm not. Tell me.
We go, I say, we're out of here, and I say 1, 2, 3, and we all say, see ya, and then we're off there.
Oh, okay.
Literally. Okay. All right, great. We're out of here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
See ya.
My mouse on my keyboard. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Let's try that again. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. See ya. Okay. Gosh, technological things.
I know.
I'm going, that would have been a great time to end the show right there, but my mouse had timed out.
Oh.
So I couldn't click on the stop button, whatever it is. Okay, man. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you.
Great show.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Oh, I'll get the Facebook Live things and everything shut down, and then we got to transition. Pasadena will be in the show. For all you Facebook and YouTube guys, they're in the Proof in the Pudding finals. You know how tough that is? They had 60 bands, and they're
Wow.
amongst I don't know how many bands are left. I hope not many, because gosh, it's always a 2-hour show as it is. But support Pasadena, our homegrown rock and roll band out of the Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts.
Awesome. Support them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, we're going down.
Okay. Bye. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome.